Millstone, peace and mercy to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May we endure to the end. Shalom. This video is going to address a video put up by the Genesis camp. And basically in the video, they're trying to slander Elder Apostle Tahar with a statement he made, you know what I'm saying, concerning Grape, okay? Or how they like to call it, the GMS Grape Doctrine, or, you know. So, you know, in that video is a clip of Apostle Tahar talking about if he want to grape him a woman, he'll grape him a woman. You know, or if you take little girls, of course you got to grape them, you know. Now, I didn't watch the whole video. I only watched up until the point where they kept, you know what I mean, replaying it, you know, trying to sensationalize it, you know, those statements that Elder Apostle Tahar made, you know what I'm saying? A whole slander campaign. But the title of that video that they did is called Meet GMS, Black Cult That Wants to Take Little Girls. That's the title. And the channel is named Deacon Destruction Mode. That's the channel. Okay? So to view the clip of what I'm talking about, you can go to that and check it out. All right, but you know, they obviously have some type of ulterior motive, because, you know, you're an Israelite camp. There's no way that you shouldn't be able to understand what Elder Apostle Tahar was actually talking about. Because first and foremost, he was not talking about in this current society that we're living in. All right. He's, you know, because that would be foolish. That would be stupid. And it's just, the context is different. Grape in this society is completely different from grape in the ancient world. Okay. And what, you know, what's surrounded that. So, you know, I put together a couple of scriptures, you know what I'm saying, because those are the real receipts. You know what I'm saying? Talking about they got the receipts, you know what I'm saying? They was they was disrespectful for the most part, you know what I'm saying? Like, but anyway, these are the real receipts, all right? The Holy Scriptures, the Word, those are the receipts, all right? And so I'm gonna bring out some of those receipts, okay? These scriptures, to kind of give some insight into, you know, what Elder Apostle Tahar was getting at when he made those statements, okay? Because, like I said, first and foremost, it wouldn't be taking place in this current society, okay? He was talking about once we enter into the kingdom, okay? And basing it off of, you know, our customs and practices in the ancient world, all right? So the first scripture I'm going to get is in the book of Genesis, chapter 12. The point is in 19. Genesis chapter 12 and 19, okay? Why saidest thou, she is my sister? So this is Pharaoh, the Pharaoh of Egypt, talking. And the she is Sarai, who is Sarah, okay? And he's talking to Abram, who is Abraham, okay? Our foremother and forefather, all right? And this is off of when the Most High had told Abram that he wanted to show Abram the promised land. So he led Abram to the promised land. You know what I'm saying? It was a famine. So they went down into Egypt, right? And I'm saying you could read the chapter to get the background, but I'm just, quickly summarizing. So they went into Egypt, but Sarai was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? She was a beautiful woman. So Abram feared for his life. He like, you know what I mean? They gonna see you. If they know you my wife, they gonna kill me so they could get at you or whatever. Right? So he was like, you know what I mean, just say you my sister, and so that way I can live. Okay? And he wasn't necessarily lying when he said that she's my sister or say that she's his sister, because she actually is his half sister to his father, Terah. Okay? So they actually were brother and sister. So even though, yes, it was misleading, but he wasn't necessarily lying. Right? So it says, I'm started again. 12 and 19. Why saidest thou she is my sister, so I might have taken her to me to wife? So I might have taken her to me to wife. Taken. That's the key word here. Taken. You understand what I'm saying? Because in the ancient world, if a woman was unmarried, she was fair game. You understand what I'm saying? She was fair game. If you could take her, you could take her. All right? And then we had customs and practices that surrounded that, you know what I'm saying, to make it right, or to square it off with the father of that woman, that unmarried woman. Okay? So he said, this is Pharaoh, he said, so I might have taken her to me to wife. All right? That's the key. That's the point. Matter of fact, let's look up the word taken real quick. Let's look up the word taken. All right. The word taken. It says, what's that? Lakah, right? It says to take, get, fetch, lay hold of, seize, require, receive, acquire, buy, bring, marry, take a wife, snatch, take away. Okay? So that's the definition of the word take, right? Now real quick, let's look up the word grape. Let's see what the word grape looked like. And this is the Merriam-Webster dictionary. Let's look up the word grape. Right? Oh, not that. All right. So this is the definition of the word grape. Unlawful sexual activity and usually sexual intercourse carried out forcibly or under the threat of injury against a person's will or with a person who is beneath a certain age or incapable of a valid consent because of mental illness, mental deficiency, intoxication, unconsciousness, or deception. Right? Let's see. Outrageous violation. Okay, look at down here, the second entry, the second definition, right? B. It says the archaic definition. The archaic definition of the archaic, meaning ancient definition of the word of grape says to seize and take away by force. Okay? So, we talking about the ancient world. So right here it says to seize and take away by force. Okay? Now the modern world is the first definition I read. Okay? That's a little bit different. Okay? That's the idea that of grape that everybody's walking around here thinking or whatever. Right? So those are two completely different things, right? You're not holding somebody at gunpoint and telling them to perform certain acts. You're not beating a woman down into submission, right? These things weren't happening. It was like you laying hold, you're seizing, okay? and it was customary practice. That's something that went on. Okay. All right. So it says, finishing up the verse back in Genesis 12:19. Now, therefore, behold, thy wife, take her and go thy way. Okay, because you know how we always say that we live in a real life movie. You know what I'm saying? And the director and the author is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. All right, so and when things don't go according to plan or it wasn't written in the script, that's when the divine intervention comes into play. All right, so once Sarah had taken, once Pharaoh had taken Sarai to wife, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah was like, nah, cut. He sent them plagues down there to get Sarah up out of there because, he had a different vision for that. He had a different script for who Sarah's wife was going to be. For who Sarah was going to be, okay? Whose wife she was going to be, which was Abram's wife. All right, so that's an example of divine intervention. You understand what I'm saying? Like when someone gets shot in the head and he live, that's divine intervention. Or, because as many people die from gunshots to the head, there are people who actually survive gunshots to the head. You know what I'm saying? And there's no way that that's happening without the Most High putting his hand on that. Okay, so he sent them plagues out to get Sarai back to Abram because, they would go on to be our foremother and forefather, okay? Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. All right? And then that led to the Israelites, who are you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right? But that's the point. Pharaoh he had took Sarai to wife. All right? So, Sarai, she didn't want to go. You know what I'm saying? She more than likely, she wanted to stay with her husband, okay? She knew Abram was her husband, but, she obeyed, okay? Okay? 1 Peter 3:6 goes into, the glory, well, not the glory, but goes into the fact that, Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord. All right? So that's one receipt, all right? One example of in the ancient world, okay, just putting it all in the context, in the ancient world, how, men and women operated, how men and women interacted. All right? Now, I'm going to give you another receipt. Still in the book of Genesis. We're going to go to the 34th chapter. Right? And right at the first verse. Right? So Jacob was told to go back to the promised land. That's funny because Abraham was being showed the promised land, right? In the previous account, and in this account, Jacob was told to go to the promised land that he promised Abraham. So, they on their way there, and so, okay, Genesis 34:1. And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. Because they had stopped off, you know what I'm saying? And from their journeying. And so, she went out to check it out. Jacob purchased some land and they went to go, she went to go check out the land or whatever, right? Simple shit. Like when you move into a new neighborhood, you go see the sights, you go see what's this, you go see what's that. You might leave one way and then take another route back home just to kind of get the lay of the land. All right. Verse 2. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor the Hivite, okay, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her. All right? Because like I said, if you were an unmarried woman, you were fair game. Okay? Fair game. And then of course, like I said, there was customs and practices surrounding this type of act. Okay? Because that, when a woman isn't married or a virgin isn't married, she actually does belong to her father. Okay? So now you have to deal with the father. Right? And it goes on and said, and his soul clave unto Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel and spake kindly unto the damsel. And Shechem spake unto his father Hamor, saying, get me this damsel to wife. All right? And that's kind of going into the custom, usually. If that happens, then, you know what I mean? That's usually the result of it. It isn't no how it is today. If you grape somebody today in this society, you know what I mean, you out of there. You trying to get up out of there. You don't, you know what I mean? You hope to not cross paths again, or you know what I'm saying? And you're trying to get away with that. But in the ancient world, it was things surrounding that. Yeah, you can do that, but then there was there was accountability when you did something like that. Okay? So and basically I'm not going to read the whole story or whatever, but you could read this chapter, Genesis 34. It goes into how, Simeon and Levi, the brothers, once they found out, they was, they was heated. They was vexed or whatever that someone would come defile their sister. Okay? So they plotted revenge and they got their revenge. Okay? And it kind of led to what their blessings or what they would, it led to what their future prophecies would be. This particular account right here. Okay? Which you can read about in what's that? I think it's Genesis the 49th chapter. All right. With Simeon and Levi. All right. So, but here's another account of men seizing and taking hold of women. Okay, and these were like royalty. I mean, they weren't Israelites. Okay, so they were heathen nations. Okay, Hamites in both cases, right? But these were still the royalty of them. Okay. You got the Pharaoh, and you got in the first account, and you got the prince in this account, okay? And then when you're royalty, you're supposed to behave with a certain type of decorum, okay? Because you setting examples for the people to follow. So if you're at the upper echelon of the society and you're doing these types of acts, then it's like, because it was the way it went. Okay, that was the customs of the ancient world with men and women interacting. Okay, men took women. All right. So, that's another receipt right there. Now, as far as the little girls thing is concerned, because these brothers, man, they was really on something. You know what I mean? They were definitely on something. Let me get this scripture real quick just to explain some of the differences between the ancient world and this current society right here. All right, because the laws is always changing. Esau, right? who is the so-called white man, he's always changing the laws to fit whatever agenda he wants to take place. Okay, they're always so at one and in different states. I mean, I'm talking about the you know, the age for consensual sex. Okay, that age it jumps around. You understand what I'm saying? It's not something that's just set in stone. Like, this is the age across the board. Okay, and then they're always changing it, and it differs from state to state. You understand what I'm saying? So whatever is in play in that state is in play in that state, and then in a different state, the age of consent could be a different age. All right. So, but we're gonna see what the scriptures say is the age of consent. So we got 1 Corinthians chapter 7. It's at the bottom. Verse 36. Right? But if any man think that he behaveth himself uncomely toward his virgin. This is the Apostle Paul speaking, who them Genesis dudes, they don't, you know what I'm saying, they don't recognize him as being, you know, an authority in the scriptures, which is, you know, what? You understand what I'm saying? Which they blatantly did that by having hats on and, you know what I mean, kind of like mocking the Apostle Paul. And mocking GMS, because, you know, that's what we do. You know, you're not to prophesy with your head covered as a man. Okay, it's simple. But Apostle Paul said that too. So that they don't respect Apostle Paul, then it's like, yo, like, what are we even talking about right now? You understand what I'm saying? Ezekiel 3, it tells us to eat the whole roll. All right? So you got to take, once you come into this truth, you might be used to doing things a certain kind of way, but once you learn that way, you know what I'm saying, no matter how comfortable it is, no matter how convenient it is for you, you got to cut that out immediately. Okay? Or be destroyed. All right? So, back in 1 Corinthians 7 and 36. But if any man think that he behaveth himself uncomely toward his virgin, okay, if she pass the flower of her age, okay, the flower of her age. Let's look up the word flower. Let's look up this word flower. See what that's talking about. The flower of her age, okay. What's that? Hyperakmos, right? It says, beyond the bloom or prime of life. Okay? Beyond the bloom or prime of life. Overripe, plump, and ripe. And so in a greater danger of defilement. Okay, of a virgin. So it says, and so in a greater danger of defilement. So when your daughter reaches a certain age, you know what I mean, you gotta keep her a little bit close to you. You understand what I'm saying? That's what that's going into, because she's in greater danger of being defiled. Okay, so what did that mean? That means when Auntie Flo is visiting her every month. Okay? And that's usually around what? 11, 12 years old. Okay? So I don't really understand what these brothers don't understand. Or, you know, they must have some agenda. And I can't even say hidden agenda, because this shit is clear as day. I mean, they on the joint talking about some like and subscribe, like they doing it for views, they clout chasing, like, so it's clear as day what their agenda is. You know what I'm saying? They trying to get their name up off of Elder Apostle Tahar, which is corny. So yeah, there you have it right there. You understand what I'm saying? So let me read that scripture again. It says, right? But 1 Corinthians 7:6. But if any man think that he behave himself uncomely toward his virgin, right? If she pass the flower of her age and need so require, let him do what he will, he sinneth not. He sinneth not. Let them marry. Okay? So basically, you got this young virgin who may just be past the flower of her age. Okay? So a young virgin. All right? And this is in the ancient world. Okay? This is ancient. Okay? And not this current society, because Elder Apostle Hall was referring to the kingdom to come. Okay? So it says, if she pass the flower of her age and needs so require, let him do what he will. So, you know what I'm saying? You're not, you know, don't think that you're being uncomely towards your virgin if you try to do something with her. Now, you know, at the end of the day, that's gonna boil down to a preference thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a preference thing or a situational thing. Who knows? I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? But, you know, generally, of course, men, you know, want they women developed. All right? All right, you know what I mean? You would want to see some tickle bitties. You would want to see a little bit of curve. You know what I'm saying? You would want the backside to have a nice little cuff to it. You know? So, you know, I mean, I'm assuming that men would want a woman that he's going to go into to look like a fucking woman, okay? But the point is that if she's on the younger side, but she's past the flower of her age, that's the key. Because the whole point of intercourse, sexual intercourse, right, is to bear children. So if she can bear children, then you can go into her. Like, that's simple. That's simple. Okay? It says, he sinneth not, let them marry. Because once again, sex is marriage as well. Okay? Sex is marriage. All right? So, I hope y'all can see that, man. These brothers is just, they on one. All right? Now I'm going to go into these laws real quick. I'm going to go into these sexual immorality laws and shit to see what, you know what I mean? What we really ain't supposed to be doing. The book of Deuteronomy 22. And it's down in 22. Okay, you know, it's a couple of joints in here about how we should be interacting, but I'm going to get straight to the point to address, you know, the slander that these brothers is trying to put on Elder Apostle Tahar. So this is Deuteronomy 22. You can start at 22 because that's where the laws start, period. But the point I'm trying to make is in 29. So Deuteronomy 22 and 29. Then, I'm sorry, let me start at 28. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, right? Meaning she's not promised to another man, okay? And lay hold on her and lie with her, and they be found. And he had to throw that and they be found in there because you got niggas that's righteous, right? Then you got niggas that's wicked, okay? So, you know what I'm saying? This probably also has taken place where a man was able to get away with, you know what I'm saying, laying hold of a virgin and then just getting up out of there, and leaving the damsel to, you know what I mean, to her own demise or whatever. All right? But that would be wicked. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying the righteous thing to do is because you already know what's expected of you. Okay? This is a code of conduct right here. These holy scriptures. So if you lay hold and take a woman, you know what I'm saying? Then you know that verse 29, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. Okay? So that would be the righteous thing to do, is to, all right, now let's go and you know what I mean? Let's go square it off. Let's go make it right or whatever. But you know, you got the righteous side and you got the wicked side. Okay? At the end of the day. And you know, righteousness is done, you know you righteous when you're doing what's right when no one's around to see. Okay? Because it does say back in 28 at the end, it says, and lie with her and they be found. Because if they wasn't found out, then it's really up to the man about, you know, how he going to handle the situation. If he going to be righteous about it, or, you know, he going to do wickedness. Okay? So, you know, those are just some scriptures to address the slander that, you know, these Genesis dudes was trying to bring about on Elder Apostle Tahar for his statements concerning this whole grape thing. Okay? Which, once again, is customary practice of the ancient world. Okay? And, you know, assuming that we're going to return to the customary practices in the kingdom. You understand what I'm saying? Because this is what it's supposed to be. The ancient world is how we're supposed to be living. Okay? Because look at this world that we're living in now. Some bullshit. All right? So with that, I hope you brothers have been edified. I hope you gathered some insight into the, you know, that little slander, the clips that they played trying to slander the Apostle Tahar. And with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahakwadash, double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders. Peace and mercy to the elect of the nation of Israel. Oh yeah, and one more thing. So, you know, I'm one of the newest members of the camp. And this is just an example. This is just to show you that we stand strong with Elder Apostle Tahar, okay? And, you know, like, it ain't no way that we leaving GMS to go anywhere, okay? Because we leave GMS, where we gonna go? You understand what I'm saying? Like when Yahweh Shai was preaching, and he started getting too deep, talking about some drink my blood and eat my flesh. And then the multitudes was kind of like, all right, hold up, wait a minute now. We can't rock with you on that. You know what I'm saying? And he asked his disciples, y'all too? Y'all gonna leave me too? And they're like, where we gonna go? You understand what I'm saying? We already know the truth is with you. All right? So, and I'm the newest member. All right? One of the newest members. And we, you know I can clearly see that the truth is with the men of GMS. So we ain't going nowhere. All right? Shalom.